Hey, this is James from the Casual Tryhard MTG podcast. Normally, for right before pre-release, I do a pre-release kit opening and quick deck build tutorial for our listeners, for our local game store, Myrtle Beach Games. But this time around, it didn't quite work out in the schedule for us to get that done. So instead, I thought I'd do it here. I bought a pre-release kit and brought it home, and thought I'd do it on our YouTube channel for everybody else to check out. Like I said, if you're just checking out this video and don't know about us, we're the Casual Tryhard MTG podcast. We release a podcast every week. I believe normally it comes out on Thursdays, so make sure you check that out. You can find it any place that you would normally listen to a podcast: Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean, iTunes, wherever it is. They're posted here on YouTube. You can check them out there as well. If you want to hit us up on social media, you can do that at Casual Tripod on Twitter. You can find us at Casual Tryhard MTG on Facebook. You can drop us an email at show@casualtryhardmtg.com. Obviously, you found our YouTube channel, so you know where to find us here. Make sure you click the subscribe button if you like the content, so you can see when we upload new content. And we have a Discord server. There should be a link in the description down below. You can also find a link to our Discord server on all of our social media. Some pretty good discussions happening there, so come on and add to the talk. We also have a subsection in there for giveaways. I try and give away as many arena promos as I can. So any I get my hands on, I give out to our listeners. So hop in there and check us out. All right, for those of you that don't know, pre-release kits are sold anytime a new set release comes out. Normally, well, I shouldn't say normally. In the past, they've had different contents. For the last few years, they've been pretty standardized at this point. So inside each one of these packs are going to be 6 booster packs right here. A spin down die that normally has whatever the set symbol is as the 20. There will be a promo card. This time around we have Arnie Brokenbow. There is a card with an arena promo on it. I'm not going to show the code here because I'm going to give it away in our Discord channel, but there's a code on there for free packs on arena. It comes in a little deck box with a divider, and normally there's a little insert in here that kind of has some artwork specific to the set and general instructions on how to construct a sealed deck. So I'm going to start opening up these packs, and we'll go through and see what kind of pool we can build. So like I said, there's 6 booster packs here. For a sealed event, you're going to open them all up and build a 40 card deck with them. Let's get rid of that. Normally when I'm doing this, I like to lay them out by color so that I can see, what I have in each color. And then we'll go through after that and pick out, which colors we're going to build for our sealed deck. I can already tell my lighting's not quite right here, and we got some glare. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Yeah, that's a little better. So just kind of separating them by color here. I was able to play in some of these on some of the sealed events on Arena this weekend, so I kind of have an idea of some of the things that work and some of the things that don't in Limited. Our rare for this pack is a Cosmos Elixir. One thing to note is this set uses snow-covered lands. There's cards in this set that will reference these snow-covered lands. Normally, when you're building a sealed pool, you're allowed to add as many basic lands as you want to. Snow-covered lands, while they technically are a basic land, they're not something that you can just add to your sealed pool. So you can only play the ones that you open in your packs. And there is one in every pack. We have a couple new mechanics with this set. This is an example of the first one. This is Dwarven Reinforcements, and it has foretell. So when you foretell a card, you pay the cost here for foretell. In this case, it's 1 and a red, and you exile it face down off to the side. And at any point later, following normal speed restrictions, like this is a sorcery, so you can only cast it when it's a sorcery, you can pay its foretell cost and cast the spell. Here's another one of the mechanics. This is snow, like I was talking about for the snow lands. You can see there's a new mana symbol there. It looks like a snowflake. That you have to pay that from a snow source. Ooh, Tergrid, God of Fright. That's a good one. This is another one of the new it's not a new mechanic for this set, but one of the mechanics in this set is these double-faced cards. So this is Tergrid, God of Fright on this side, and it's Tergrid's Lantern on this side. And while it's in your hand, you get to pick which side that you want to use when you cast the spell. From the little bit that I played, Tergrid's Lantern is really good. I'm going to have to move some of this stuff around a little bit. I'm running out of room here. Put the lands over there. We'll put gold cards up with the artifact there. Ooh, we got a mythic in this pack. It's a Haunting Voyage. It's another one of those foretell cards. So I think I misspoke when I actually talked about the last foretell card. You foretell for 2 colorless, and then when you cast the spells, when you pay the mana cost next to foretell here. So this Haunting Voyage is 4 black if you're just going to cast it. It's a sorcery. You get to choose a creature type. Return up to 2 creature cards of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield. If you foretell it, you return all creatures of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield instead. We got a lot of black cards, which probably means we're going to be playing black. Oh, that's kind of nice. In this pack, we have Runed Crown, 3 mana equipment, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to search your library, hand, or graveyard for a rune card and put it on the battlefield attached to Rune Crown. And right behind it, we have Rune of Mortality, one of the runes that you can go get with Rune Crown. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. All of the runes do that. There's one for each color. And this one says, as long as the enchanted permanent is a creature, it has Death Touch. And as long as it's an equipment, equipped creature has Death Touch. So you can play your Runed Crown, go search for Rune of Mortality. It'll come in and attach to the Runed Crown. You get to draw a card for the rune, and then when the Rune Crown's attached to a creature, it has +1/+1 and Death Touch. That's kind of a neat little combo they added in. And Blood Sky Massacre is the rare for that pack. And last pack, and then we'll start building a deck here. Another Rune of Speed this time. And a rare in this pack is Battle of Frost and Fire. It's 3 blue-red for a saga. The way these sagas work is it's an enchantment, and when you cast it, you put a lore counter on it, or when it enters the battlefield, you put a lore counter on it. And then there's a 1, 2, and a 3. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you put another lore counter on it, and whenever a lore counter is put on it, you do the thing next to the number of lore counters it has. So when it enters the battlefield, you put 1 on it, and this will deal 4 damage to each non-giant creature in each planeswalker. And then your next turn, you're going to scry 3. And then your next turn, whenever you cast a spell with CMC 5 or greater, you draw 2 cards, then discard a card. And then after the 3rd chapter, the saga goes away. And a foil Rune of Mortality. Alright, sorry about that. I had to fix my lighting real quick. So after we get our cards laid out by color, I like to go through the colors and see what cards we have that are going to draw us into a color. So you're looking for big bombs, or good removal, or good synergies. And the only card that is drawing me into white is this Iron Verdict, which is probably means we're not going to be playing white. No use playing it for 1 card. So let's check out our blue here. Strategic Planning's pretty good. This Augury Raven plays pretty well. It's a 4-mana 3/3 flyer, but it has Foretell, so you can split up its mana cost over a couple turns, so that's pretty good. Run Ashore actually plays pretty well, so that's kind of a reason to be blue. Miststalkers is a decent common card. Bergstrider's pretty good, and the Yeti's pretty good. Bergstrider will tap a creature down if you pay snow mana for its casting cost. And Frostspeak Yeti lets it be unblockable if you pay 1 in a snow. But no removal there, so we're probably not going to be blue either. We'll set those aside. And let's look at our red. I think our red was pretty good. So we get that Rune of Speed that we know goes with our helm over there, so we'll set that down. Demon Bolt is really good removal in this set. It's a 4 damage removal spell, but you can foretell to make it cheaper. So we'll hang on to that one. Frostbite's good. It's a removal spell that uses snow. This Craven Hulk is just kind of a cheap beater. It's a 4-mana 4/4. There's some giant synergies in this set too, and it's a giant. It has the downside of it can't block alone, but I haven't really had that come up so far as, a major drawback. So I'm probably going to end up playing that one. We got another Frostbite there. And this Tuskeri Firewalker is a pretty good reason to be red also. It's red's way of getting card advantage. One of the other new mechanics in this set is Boast. And this guy's a 3-mana 3/2 with Boast. And when he boasts, you get to exile the top card of your library and play that card this turn. So when you boast, the creature has to have attacked, and then you pay its boast cost and you do the effect. So as long as this creature has attacked, you can pay 1 colorless mana and you get access to the top card of your library for a turn. So it's actually pretty powerful. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 reasons to be in red. The rest of this stuff it's not all unplayable, but it's not really reasons to be red. So I'll just kind of set those aside, and we'll take a peek at our green here. In our green we have Sculptor of Winter, is a mana dork that untaps snow lands, so that's pretty good. This Elderleaf Mentor is a 3-mana 3/2, but he brings along a 1/1 elf buddy. That's also pretty solid. Ice Hide Troll is a pretty good snow payoff. I'll have to go back and see which snow lands we have, but that's a pretty good snow payoff. Snakeskin Veil is a good protection card. It's 1 mana instant, and you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, and it gains hexproof till end of turn. So you can use it as a combat trick with a +1/+1 counter, and you can also use the hexproof to protect something from a removal spell. Boreal Outrider is another snow payoff. It's 2 and a green for a 3/2. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if snow of that spell's colors were spent to cast it, it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. We got another Elderleaf Mentor, another Ice Hide Troll. There's a Glittering Frost, 2 and a green for a snow enchantment aura. It enchants a land. It makes the land a snow land, and then it adds an additional mana of any color when you tap it. So that'll help fix mana. It synergizes with the Sculptor of Winter and lets you untap the land. And it can also fix your mana because it makes mana of different colors too. And then we have another Snakeskin Veil and a Horizon Seeker. This is another card with Boast. This one boasts for 1 and a green, and you get to search your library for a basic land, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. So this can also kind of help to fix your mana. That's pretty good. We only got two green cards that aren't drawing me to green, so green's pretty good there. I know our black's decent. We're going to go through that in a minute, but first I want to look at our gold cards. These can be used to kind of draw you into a color as well. We decided that our blue wasn't very good, and you really need some good giant synergies for Battle of Frost and Fire to pay off. So I don't think this is going to make the cut, so I'm just going to set that off to the side. The Blood Sky Massacre is a good card. It's another saga, 1 black-red. Chapter 1 gives you a 2/3 red demon berserker with menace token. Number 2 is whenever a berserker attacks this turn, you draw a card and lose a life. And number 3 is add a red mana for each berserker you control, and until end of turn, that mana doesn't empty from your mana pool. So this is a 3 mana 2/3 with menace that draws you a card and makes you lose a life, and pays you back a red mana over the course of 3 turns. That's pretty solid, and we do have some good red cards, and I know we got some good black cards, so it's probably going to be an include. We do have some synergies with the Crown, so even though they're not super strong, I'm going to set that to the side because we may end up playing that. The Plow's no good. You really want to play it with there's an Ox that actually we had in white here. Let me dig it out. It's a 2 mana 0/6, and instead of using its power to crew things, it crews with its toughness, which coincidentally is exactly the amount needed to crew the Plow. It's a crew 6, but it's not that great a card, and I don't think I want to dilute my deck by running white and the Ox and this Plow, so I think we're gonna skip on that one. Our white and blue were our weakest colors, so I'm not even going to bother looking at this saga. Again, we're not playing whites, and it looks like we're going to be a 3-color deck, so I'm probably not trying to kill our mana by trying to cast a white spell also. So I'll set that aside. And this Cosmos' Elixir is interesting. It's a 4-mana artifact, and at the beginning of your end step, you draw a card if your life total is greater than your starting life total. Otherwise, you gain 2 life. So this gives you a 2 life buffer every turn, and then if you have more life than you started the game with, you get to start drawing cards instead. I don't know what kind of deck we're going to turn out to be, so I'm going to set this aside and we'll take a peek at it later. So on to our black cards. We have the Rune of Mortality that I already talked about, and we got a second one here, so I'll set them both there. I'm just going to go ahead and dig out all our removal first. We have Way Down, which is a decent removal card. We have Poison the Cup, which is actually very good removal in this set. Ooh, we have another Poison the Cup. Alright, that's fantastic. And now I'm going to pull out the best creatures. Draugr Recruiter lets you boast and return a creature from your graveyard to your hand, so that's pretty good. The Grim Draugr is a snow payoff. We'll have to look and see how much snow we have. Demonic Gifts, there's always a card like this in every set, and they tend to not play that great. So I don't know that I'm super interested in playing Demonic Gifts. Hunting Voyage we'll have to look at when we're done to see where our tribal payoffs are. Coma's Faithful is a pretty good early body, so we'll keep that around. I know we have some cheap removal and some foretell spells that help fuel this second spell each turn thing. So we'll hang on to the Infernal Pet there. The Kennel Master is pretty good. It gives +1/+0 to and indestructible to 2 creatures when he enters the battlefield. So that can help make your attacks a little bit better. So we'll put him in there for now. Skull Raid makes your opponent's discard. I don't think we have time for that. Raise the Draugr. We already have the Haunting Voyage, which is kind of a better one of these, so I don't think I'm interested in that. The Turgid, his Lantern on the backside is a real bomb in Limited. You can tap it to make a player lose 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Once you start activating that, it's pretty hard to come back from. Turgid Shadow, I don't think I'm really interested in. Duskwielder is a good early card that lets you boast and bolster your life total a little bit, so we'll probably end up playing that. We don't really have a way to pump extra creatures, so I don't think I'm really interested in this Berserker, and again, I'm not really interested in this Demonic Gifts either. So we'll set those guys off to the side here. Now what I like to do is go through and lay out our creatures to kind of see what our curve is. I guess I can finish looking at these red cards real quick. The Pup's okay. It's a good early creature. We can cut it if we need to later. I'm just looking for things that we might end up playing. Dwarven Reinforcements is pretty good. If we need a top end, we can play the Mob. There's another Pup. And I don't know that I'm interested in the rest of that. So now I like to pull all the creatures out of the cards that I thought might make the cut, and we'll lay them out in mana cost order. Oh, before I do that, let me take a peek at our lands here and see what kind of lands we got. We got a snow-covered swamp, that's good. We got a red-black utility land, another swamp, a mountain. Hey, look at that, and a forest. This Tyrite Sanctum only works with gods. Oh, actually, it makes things gods. Oh, actually, I read that card wrong last time. We may end up playing that. We have a Great Hall of Starnheim, which is the white-black land. We're probably not going to run that. We have Shimmerdrift Veil to fix our mana. We got a Sulphurous Mire. Man, all of our snow lands are on color. That is fantastic. Alright, so we don't have to worry about our mana at all. We'll come back to those in a minute. So let's go ahead and we'll lay out our sealed deck here. Like I said, I normally lay out just the creatures. That way we can go for kind of build our mana curve. And we're looking for about 18 creatures, give or take. Sky Massacre I'm going to count as a creature because it comes down for 3 mana and makes a creature. So that'll be a 3-drop, a 1-drop, 5-drop. Same thing with Dwarven Reinforcements. Technically it's a 4-drop, but it makes 2 creatures. Or it's a 4-mana sorcery, but it makes 2 creatures, so we're going to count it as a creature. We got another Pup. We got the Firewalker, removal spell, creature, removal spell, removal spell. Just going through and building out the curve. And we'll come back later and a little bit here and clean it up a little bit. Turgid is a creature, but I think I'm actually going to count it as a non-creature slot. Even though he's pretty good on the front side, I think in almost all circumstances you're going to be casting the artifact. So we'll set that there. Alright, we are really heavy on our 3-drops. So let's clean some of these 3-drops up a little bit. We have plenty of snow to make all of our snow payoffs work. So I'm going to include those right up front. This Sky Massacre is just card advantage, which is kind of all you want to do when you're playing a removal like mid-rangey deck. Same thing with the Firewalker, it's just card advantage, which means that I'm probably not playing the Faithful, the Pet, or the Seeker. And right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I can probably actually clean this up just a little bit. This mob isn't great, so we can set that aside and maybe add in this Horizon Seeker to help fix our mana a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good. I think that's about all we're going to do for creatures. That looks like I kind of wish we had less 1-drops and more 2-drops, but in sealed you're kind of stuck with what you got. So I think that's going to be where we are for our creatures. And now we got to look at our spells. So we ended up with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 creatures. You're going to want to play about 23 cards and 17 lands for your 40-card limited deck, which means we need about 6 spells out of here. We're definitely going to play all our premium removal. Which is 5 cards. And that means we don't have a whole lot of room for the rest of this. I really want to play Tergrid's Lantern, so I think that means we're not playing Way Down, which is one of the worst of our other removal spells. It definitely means we're not going to have room for the Runed Crown shenanigans with the runes, so we'll get rid of them. Probably also aren't going to have room for protection for our creatures, so I'm also going to set those Snakeskin Veils aside. I would kind of like to make room for the Glittering Frost and the Haunting Voyage. Well, let's see what kind of creatures we have for Haunting Voyage, because it cares about creature types being the same. So let's see what we have for creatures. We got Elf, 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 and then Zombie, 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 Wolf, Wolf. Our creatures are kind of split up a little bit, so I actually think that we're probably not going to play Haunting Voyage. We kind of have a bunch of different creature types here. Even though that can be a blowout, I don't think we're going to be playing it. So the only other card I'd like to play is this Glittering Frost. I'm going to say we can probably cut a Frostbite for that. We have some other removal spell. And this is probably the weakest out of what we have left. We don't really want to cut too many creatures. Actually, you know what? I don't think that's right. I think we're going to cut this Dwarven Reinforcements instead. The 2/1 bodies aren't super relevant. And because it's not something that we can recur with the Draugr Recruiter, I think we're going to cut it. No, but it does work with a Sky Massacre. Alright, let's cut a pup instead. We'll cut a pup. So now we have to build our mana base. Typically what I like to do here is separate my cards by color. So we're going to put all the black cards together, all the green cards together, all the red cards together. We'll leave the gold cards out. And then, oh, I forgot about our promo over here. Hang on, let me check out our promo here. We have Arnie Broken Bow, 2 and a red for a 3/3 with haste, and he has Boast, 1 mana. You can change Arnie Broken Bow's base power to 1 plus the greatest power among other creatures you control till end of turn. I really don't think we have much over 3 power. But a 3 mana 3/3 haste is pretty good. Do we have any 3-drops we can cut for Arnie Broken Bow? Actually, I'm going to cut that other pup for him. Arnie, you made the cut. So once everything's separated by color here, I start counting the mana symbols. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red mana symbols here, which means we need at least 4 red sources. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green pips. So we need at least 4 forests or mana sources. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which means we need at least 5 swamps. So we're pretty well, 10. We're pretty well spread across the 3 colors. So let's turn to our mana fixing lands here. We have 3 cards that fix mana. 2 of them are for any color, and 1 is for red-black exclusively. So we're probably going to want 1 more green source than red. So I would do something like, let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 7 lands to work with. I would go 4. 1 and 2. So 4 forests, 1 mountain, 2 swamps. Should give us a reasonable mana base. And then I don't think in a 3-color deck we can get away with running a colorless utility land, so I'm not going to include that. That should be about it. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of this pre-release sealed deck building and kit opening, box opening. Don't forget, if you want to check us out, you can find us on Twitter at Casual Tripod, on Facebook at Casual Tryhard MTG. You can drop us an email at show@casualtryhardmtg.com. Obviously, you know where our YouTube channel is. Make sure you subscribe to check out our content as we release it. Our podcast gets posted here every Thursday, and occasionally we do other things. Sometimes we'll do a draft on Arena and post it up. Sometimes we'll do these deck building things. Occasionally we do deck techs. But make sure you're subscribed so that you can see the videos when they come out, and check out our show. Thanks, guys.